I am Jason Hannon. This is Cards and Caffeine, and I'm going to tell you why I hate the pass. The classic pass is the pass is a classic move, right? So it's called the classic pass, and there's loads of different variations of it. You know, from the spread, classic pass, the Herman pass. I've seen some fan stuff, and I hate it. I think it's a overused and kind of outdated and impractical move. Now, before anyone comes at me, I'm not saying I don't think you should learn it. I'm not saying I don't think you should use it. And I'm not saying that anyone who's spent 25 years or however long practicing it, trying to get it to look perfect, has wasted their time. I'm not saying that. Personally, I don't think it's worth the amount of work people put into learning it, because there are other moves that are, in my opinion, superior, that you can use in the same situation that you would use a pass. And also, the whole thing of having an invisible pass makes no fucking sense, because, there we go, I get quite ranty, because you're not supposed to see the move, right? Or audience members aren't supposed to see the move. But I feel like, and especially when I started Magic, I don't know what the world of Magic is like now, because I try and avoid it as much as possible. But now I'm doing this, it doesn't really make sense. But anyway, I don't know what it's like as a beginner now. But when I started, every YouTube video or whatever, that's how I started out, and then I found books and found teachers, and that's where I went. When I started out, every fucking YouTube video that was a Magic thing was at some point used the pass. And a really common plot in Magic back then, I'm sure it still is now, is the ambitious card routine, right? Which uses a pass a lot, and they didn't provide, I mean, they're shitty teachers anyway, but they didn't provide, well, maybe they're not shitty teachers, I don't fucking care, they're shitty teachers. They didn't provide an alternative. It was either you know how to do the pass, or you can't do this trick, or you should spend, X amount of time learning the pass, or go learn the pass, then come back to this. But the pass isn't a move you can just do that with. It's kind of up there with I don't know, the bottom deal, or I don't know, the Erdnase shift or something. It's a hard move, and it would take a long time to get good at it. But I do use the pass, the classic pass. I first learned the Herman pass because I found the finger position easier. But the pass is a move much like a double lift or a top change that should never be seen by audience members. If they're, I don't know, burning your hands, or I don't know, you've got a cunt of a audience member who's really wants to catch you out, don't do the move. Do something else, do a different trick, do something else that doesn't involve that. I'm trying not to go down too many tangents, because I will get a bit carried away. I'm worried I'm going to get carried away. But I feel like the pass is, like I said, it's something that shouldn't be seen, right? You wouldn't, you don't do the pass out here right in front of everyone, right? You do it on a down moment, like a top change or a double lift, or get ready for a double lift, right? You don't do the pass in full view of everyone. And I feel like when I started doing Magic, there was some sort of obsession around having an invisible pass. You needed it to be imperceptible to someone staring directly at it, which is which isn't the point of the move. Anyway, and that kind of put me off learning a lot of stuff at the beginning, learning a lot of tricks or routines at the beginning, because it required the pass, and I avoided them because I wasn't good at it. And then I was watching, I think it was a James Brown lecture, and he was talking about, you should look it up, I can't remember what it's on, it's good if you haven't seen it. The Misdirection Sessions is what it's called, and he was talking about the pass in that, and he said, very similar to what I'm saying, you shouldn't do it in front of people. It shouldn't be a thing of who's got the best pass. Look at my pass. You're not supposed to see it. Not to say that learning it and practicing it and using it shouldn't be something that you do. I don't use it that often because my pass is shit. You might have seen it earlier. This is what my pass looks like. So let's say that one. So this is what my pass looks like. It's not good. It's fine. I can do it. It's passable. Fuck. It's passable in the right situation. You know, if I've got on a down moment, on an off beat, right, if it feels right, I'll use it, I'll do it. But other than that, on rare occasion, I don't do it in performance. I practice it just so that I can do it still, but I don't use it. It's not my go-to move. And there are hundreds, probably, of videos and books and tips and finger placements and tension and being light with it and not gripping to it, all of that. And if you want to learn it, go ahead. But I wouldn't waste my time. I haven't wasted mine trying to perfect the pass because it is a very difficult move. Whereas something like the bottom deal is done right in front of people. Like, it's not I think because it's sort of more, you use it in more of like a sequential way, as in like, you might be dealing hands or dealing, you know, a pile or whatever straight down. You're using the move, it's sort of exposed for a lot longer than the pass is, right? The pass is half a second and it's done. Whereas something like the bottom deal is kind of out in the open for a lot longer. So that is something you should make invisible, or as close to it as possible. And I've spent a lot of time practicing the bottom deal for that reason. So if you're new to magic, don't freak out. If everything is telling you to use the pass, you don't have to. You don't even have to learn it. Look at fucking Madison's work. He never uses a pass, and he's Madison, you know? When obviously, you know, there's a special exception, but you don't need to learn the pass or feel pressure to perfect it before you can do a routine that uses it, because there's other things you can do. For example, I don't know what it's called or who came up with it, but I learned it from, I forget his name. I can't remember his name. It's essentially so this is the selection, right, the 8 of clubs. You kind of keep a pinky break with it, and then as you come back in the sort of mix of this, right, you move it to the top. So you kind of just smush some cards together, and that's the wrong card. I'll just cut this out. I can't remember who I learnt it from, but essentially this is what it looks like, right? You have a card selected, and then in the process of kind of smushing cards together, you bring it to the top. That is a far easier move to learn, and I would argue more usable, more what's the word? More of a utility move, right? Because that's what the pass is. It's a utility move. It's moving a selection up or down the deck imperceptibly. But the thing with that is, I feel like if you're needing to do that, I don't think the trick or the routine is structured properly. even with something like an ambitious card routine, because if you're kind of putting emphasis on the fact that nothing's happened, which obviously is the whole ambitious card. I don't like the ambitious card routine either, to be honest with you, but I do a version of that, one of Ben Earl's versions of it, because he changed the whole structure of it, and that's kind of, I think it's a better way. It's the same sort of premise of a card rises to the top, but there's no need, because I feel like with the sort of basic versions of the ambitious card, you're kind of inviting people to stare at the deck, and it's sort of like a catch me if you can kind of thing. And to sort of teach that as like the first thing you teach new magicians, I don't think that's a good idea, because you're teaching them to invite speculation and invite kind of, you know, hecklers and glaring at your hands as you're trying to perform to them, which I don't think, you know, if you go out and try and do that, perform that to someone, you're going to have your confidence shot, because it's not going to work because of the pass. And it's loud and kind of clunky as well. I know obviously I haven't practiced it, and there are people that can do it super well, you know, hats off to you, but I don't like it, especially for beginners. It's not a beginner move. Whereas something like, I don't know, Mahatma Shuffle, or I don't know what it's called, the mush spread thing, right? So the mush spread, mush control, I don't know what to call it, that. And even then, you know, you can mess around with it and fidget with it and have, like, if you want to get the card to second position, all you do is just put an extra card on top. And now the king, that was terrible. Now the king is in second position, right? And it's so much easier than the pass, and arguably more deceptive, because to the participant, it looks like you've shuffled. And that's what I'm talking about when I say structure, is it's not structured like nothing's happened. Because I forget when you use the pass for that, it's that now we just snap our fingers or whatever the fuck they say, and now it's back on top. That bullshit. I don't know, man. Just fuck the fucking ambitious card routine. I don't like it. The classic version of it. And there are better beginner tricks out there anyway. It's impressive and it looks cool, and obviously, you know, every magician alive has a version of it, their version of it, or they use someone else's or whatever. But it's just, I don't know. You know, it's kind of, I think it's a shitty thing to teach beginner magicians, really, I do. So, if you are a beginner in card magic and you somehow stumbled across my video, don't learn the pass. You don't have to learn the pass. Mahatma Shuffle, or that spread thing that I explained. I don't know if you can find it somewhere. He's French, it was from, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, that requires a little bit more, I don't know, a pinky break. You know, that's not difficult. And then you literally just put your fingers underneath and pull it out. You know, that's not difficult. So yeah, fuck the pass.